So majorly, a lot of people have the fear of gaining weight or
Okay.
having rice. So does eating rice lead to weight gain?
No, it does not. A lot of times what happens is what we're eating with the rice is actually a bigger culprit than the rice by itself. So people eat biryanis which are loaded with all kinds of fat and like ghee and oil and everything. They even top it with further fried onions and stuff, and then say that rice makes me gain weight. It's not the rice, it's the fat in the food that you are eating. We have research that shows us that if you are going to cook rice and then cool it, keep it in the fridge and then reheat it the next day, that rice now, so when we are cooking rice, a lot of its starch which is a soluble starch. So when you cool it, the cooked starch, it becomes resistant starch. So when we say resistant starch, it is starch which the body is not going to be able to digest. Okay, so starch resistant to digestion is resistant starch. Okay,
Can someone lose weight without quitting rice?
100%.
One common myth about rice you wish people could stop believing.
That if you're diabetic, you need to stop eating rice.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ask Amita podcast. Today we are going to talk about everyone's most favorite grain. We love it across. It feeds more than 50% of our global population, which is rice.
Oh.
So although we all love rice, but there's also some fear which is there associated with rice. So majorly, a lot of people have the fear of gaining weight on having rice. So does eating rice lead to weight gain?
No, it does not. Bye.
Okay.
It doesn't. It doesn't. See, rice is a grain pretty much like your average like wheat and like your millets and everything. So it doesn't lead you to weight gain. But the problem is that it's very difficult to portion control rice, which is why, like, in our Indian context, rice is an emotion.
Yeah.
Pretty much like ghee is.
Yeah.
So, just like ghee, people find it difficult to measure rice and to portion it out. Because if you compare it with, say, the roti, which we eat, so you can always tell people to eat like one roti, two roti. That same does not apply to rice because it's more a volume measure. And a lot of times, what happens is what you are eating with the rice is actually a bigger culprit than the rice by itself. So people eat biryanis which are loaded with all kinds of fat and like ghee and oil and everything. They even top it with further fried onions and stuff. And then say that rice makes me gain weight. It's not the rice, it's the fat in the food that you're eating.
Right. So the other place where say rice is most like people are scared of eating rice is people with diabetes. So for them, is rice bad?
No, so even with diabetes, I always say this, Madhura, that rice is I always say this, that diabetes is say a phenomenon which needs to be managed, ensuring balance in everything. So it's not about just eliminating one component and then everything's going to be great, because end of the day, it's not just the rice which is causing the problem. It's a problem of an imbalance of the carb load and imbalance of the free fatty acids in your diet and everything. So when it comes to diabetes, if you are managing the balance, if you are maintaining the proportion of your protein, of the fiber that you're eating, and of the carbs, as well as the healthy fat, then you will find that you literally can be eating rice for both the meals, even if you are diabetic, like say for your lunch as well as your dinner, provided you are ensuring that the rest of the meal is something which is still keeping your blood sugars in check and at a certain, like say, stable level.
Right. So, okay. So now the next question is, like, there are different varieties of rice. So there is brown rice, there's red rice. So are they any good than the regular white rice?
See, brown rice and red rice are slightly better than the white rice from the fiber and a trace micronutrient point of view. But at the same time, if you are someone who has been used to only eating white rice since childhood, and then you are suddenly going to make the switch to brown rice, which is going to be doubly or sometimes even triply expensive than your white rice, is going to take longer to cook. And end of the day, it's still not going to give you the satisfaction of having eaten rice per se. Then, in my opinion, it doesn't really qualify as something which you can use as a tool for long term. Okay, having said that, if I was to opt for, say, a hand pounded rice, which is hand pounded red rice, or a brown rice, or say parboiled rice for that matter, that is any day going to be better than eating a completely polished rice, okay, white polished rice. The other benefit of having that, other than the little micronutrients, is because the fiber tends to be a little higher than white rice. So what's that going to do is it's going to give you more, say, satiety. It's going to keep you full for longer. It's also going to keep your blood sugars in check. So that also it works well. But that doesn't mean that you can have unlimited quantities of, red rice.
You still need portion control for that also.
Absolutely, because it's rice, end of the day. And this is true not just for rice, for any grain that you're eating for that matter.
So say for regular meals, so just the white rice, one can do the portion control. But when it's something like a chicken biryani or it's a pulao, then how do you portion control then?
So the other day I saw a very good illustration of this, okay, where they said that, okay, here's biryani meal that we have. How are we going to fill up our plate? So in that, what they did was that, I mean, obviously, the other alternative would be that don't have biryani.
Okay.
But you are
That's
going
tough.
to. Yeah, because, I mean, you are going to have instances when there's only biryani on offer or whatever. You just want to have biryani. So from that, and I'm assuming it's not the veg biryani or the fraud biryani, but it's something with meat or at least some paneer, if not meat. So the first thing that you should be doing is pick the protein from the biryani. Okay. So usually people serve the rice first and then think of the meat. But you pick the protein, like pick the chicken or the meat or whatever you're having. Put that on your plate first. Okay. With that, put a little bit of the rice with the masala. Okay, a little bit of that. Okay. Then try and fill up 1/3 of your plate with, say, vegetables. So you would have some raita with it, and you would also have, say, some pyaz, tomato kind of vegetables with it or whatever. So fill it up with that. And with that, you can also ask for more dahi. Okay, with it. And of course, you can take a little more rice if it's like too little to see like biryani for you.
If it's too tempting, we can take
a little more. But the point out here remains that yes, you can eat a biryani, but you need to be eating the vegetables and, say, the leaner protein with it as well in terms of the dahi. So
it just not be just rice on your plate. But everything.
So don't have biryani like you have like a whole mountain of white rice underneath. There's some masala and somewhere you have one little small piece of chicken. So don't eat like that.
Okay. So the other things that is quite trending on all the reels we have to see, is like the refrigerated rice. So does that rice better than the regular rice?
Yes, it is. So we have research that shows us that if you are going to cook rice and then cool it, keep it in the fridge and then reheat it the next day, that rice now, so when we are cooking rice, a lot of its starch which is the soluble starch. So when you cool it, like the cooked starch, it becomes resistant starch.
Okay.
So when we say resistant starch, it is starch which the body is not going to be able to digest. Okay. So starch resistant to digestion is resistant starch.
Okay.
Okay. So which means that you can end up reducing the carbs, yeah, or the so you can, which means that you can end up reducing the carb load of that rice by up to 50%. So that is a great way to cook and use and eat rice, especially if you have diabetes.
Okay. So, in terms of say cooking of the rice, so two major ways people do it. So, I personally pressure cook it. That's the quickest way. The other way people like say it's beneficial is like by just boiling it in a vessel. So, does that help to reduce say the starch?
So the pressure cooking method versus the boil and drain. So it's
Boil and
actually you're
drain.
going to
Correct.
boil it, and then whatever little excess water you have, you're going to drain it,
Right.
and then steam it for a little longer so that it becomes fluffy. Again, we have evidence which tells us that when you're going to drain off the rice, like drain a little bit of the say the starch from it, you are ending up reducing the glycemic load, and rather you are ending up reducing the glycemic index of that rice.
Correct.
In turn, reducing the glycemic load as well. So that's always a better method. Having said that, it's not necessarily true for anyone and everyone. So where it comes to rice and the cooking methods or even resistant starch and stuff, that is something which is important for people who have diabetes.
Okay.
Not you and I.
Correct.
Who don't have diabetes, who don't have
Yeah.
insulin resistance. Okay, so for a normal healthy individual, you can cook rice whichever way you want. What is more important is how much of that rice that you're eating, and what are you eating that rice with, how much ghee are you adding on top and stuff.
Yes. Okay. So there are also a lot of people who will say once their meal is done, they end up having say a bowl of curd rice. Or some people may have it with the milk. So, and they say that it helps them to sleep better. So, is that true?
Yeah, so rice and curd rice or even rice with milk. Now, milk has precursors for melatonin. So it's going to help you to sleep better because melatonin is what helps you to sleep better at the end of the day. And rice, in fact, rice is also my most favorite grain because it's absolutely hypoallergenic. Okay, so you will not find anyone being allergic to rice. Okay, and then when you're eating it at night, you know, even if you're ending it with say your curd rice. Now, curd rice is beautiful because it has some protein, it has a little probiotic from the curd. It also has the rice, so which the curd and the rice by itself is a wonderful combination for you to be able to sleep better, sleep satisfied after your meal. So yeah, those are great options. But just remember that it shouldn't be that you're following up a biryani meal with a curd rice because that is just going to become too much rice in one day.
So, if I want to have a curd rice, I better reduce my carb of the.
Yeah, so you can reduce the portion of your carbs a little bit. So instead of maybe 3 full carbs, you can have 2 full carbs and then have some curd rice as well.
Curd rice. So, okay. So, now we are introducing a little rapid fire segment today.
Oh, interesting.
So, it should be rapid and it should be quick. So, the first question is first thing that comes to your mind when you hear rice causes weight gain.
I just laugh. It's ridiculous.
Okay. One common myth about rice you wish people could stop believing.
That if you're diabetic, you need to stop eating rice.
Okay. So, brown rice or white rice, your pick and why?
Brown rice, I like the nutty texture and the say the flavor and everything that it.
So, do you personally eat rice daily?
Yes, I do actually eat rice daily because I've found that I do better when I'm eating rice versus if I'm eating too much of say gluten in a day, and that is something that has happened now, you know, like say in the recent years. Earlier I used to be okay with say 2 rotis, but now I find myself deviating more towards
Now
rice.
you've become a rice eater then.
Yeah, most often my lunch is rice.
Okay. Can someone, okay, I'll take this again. Can someone lose weight without quitting rice?
100%, absolutely.
One rice-based meal that you genuinely enjoy.
Oh, I love egg fried rice.
Egg fried rice. Okay, not the chicken biryani.
No, not a biryani person. Too much fat for me.
Okay. Your views on hand pounded rice.
It's beautiful. The Kerala matta hand pounded is my favorite way of having hand pounded rice, and it's so versatile. Can be mixed up with or used with so many different kind of curries, not just Indian, even Southeast Asian. So beautiful it is.
And the last one is finish the sentence. Rice is dash.
Rice is bay.
Perfect. So this was us talking about rice. We have tried to cover as many questions. If you have any, please feel free to drop them in the comments below.
And do share and subscribe this podcast so that we can bring you more such episodes. And we're looking forward to hear from you all. How did you like this one? See you.